the drama continues to unfold at the trial of former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich, and attention in the case is beginning to shift to the President of the United States. Now, after former Blago Chief of Staff John Harris testified that the president had direct knowledge of Blago's corrupt scheme to sell Obama's Senate seat, Blago's lawyers are now demanding access to transcripts of the president's interview with prosecutors and the FBI. Now, they argued in their motion that, quote, testimony elicited by the government from John Harris, that's Blago's former chief of staff, and wiretaps played in the court raised the issue of President Obama's direct knowledge and communication with emissaries and others regarding the appointment to his Senate seat. Now, this does not sound good for the president. Joining me now with analysis, attorney, and Fox News contributor is Tamara Holder. She has been following the trial very closely, and former Illinois Senate candidate, the owner of 22nd Century Media. Jack Ryan is here. Guys, good to see you. Tamara, all right, you're following this. You're in the courtroom. Here it is. Rambo gave Blago Obama's Senate picks. Bring us into us in the courtroom.
Okay. I don't really know where to start, except that it's really interesting that we do know that Obama keeps coming up in every single conversation, every single wiretap. Obama's name and Emanuel's name come up by testimony by John Harris, Lon Monk, Blagojevich himself is talking about these people. So it's really important that we bring them in. I do not understand why the judge has tabled this issue and is saying, well, let's wait until further down the line to determine if we should bring Obama in. This is, you know, the prosecution's like fourth witness on a list of maybe 600 or 800. So we know early on that President Obama and Rahm Emanuel are part of this. Bring them in and let's find out what they have to say. One quick thing, what's really interesting is if Rahm Emanuel was really out to do something for himself and President Obama didn't know, and he gets on the stand, he's either going to be lying for President Obama or he will have been lying, you know, about his boss. Well, it's really interesting to see. Well,
I want to put a little bit more emphasis on this, because what you're really saying here is either he was working on behalf of Obama or he was keeping from Obama activity, political activity. In other words, he was not fulfilling Obama's wishes. He was fulfilling his own agenda, which I don't know which is worse.
Right, and which is worse. So it's really important to put Obama on the stand for him to say, yes, I knew about it, or no, I didn't. Another thing that's really interesting, and then I'll pass it off to somebody else, but Axelrod actually had an interview with Fox Chicago where he said, I know that the president and the governor have had conversations about Senate appointments. And then a few days later, Biden came back and said, no, there was no contact between the president and Blagojevich.
Right, well, no, wait a minute.
So which one is it?
Well, now this now brings up the issue, because Blagojevich's camp is saying, wait a minute, the FBI interviewed Obama. We want a transcript. We want to know what Obama's claiming here. But if Axelrod said that, this brings Obama right into the middle of this. Jack?
Yes.
Don't you think that we're getting closer and closer to the idea that the president has got to say what he knew, when he knew it, what his preferences were? Did he know about Blago's desire for pay-to-play to get a cabinet position?
Well, it shouldn't be that surprising, because we saw now that they supposedly offered Joe Sestak a job if he would not run for the U.S. Senate. They offered Andrew Romanoff a job if he would not run for the U.S. Senate. They offered Ben Nelson all this freebies if he would vote for health care to be the 60th vote to get through the filibuster. They've asked Mary Landrieu to do the same thing with the Louisiana Purchase if she would vote for the health care bill. I mean, go on to this whole list of activities we've seen over the last year, and suddenly Blagojevich's behavior seems kind of consistent with what you expect to happen if you're a Democratic leader from Illinois.
All right, but this gets to the heart of it here. And the testimony is that the president, and these were in the tapes, Tamara, which is important. The president understands the governor would be willing to make the appointment of Valerie Jarrett as long as he gets what he's asked for. The governor gets the cabinet appointment he's asked for. Now, the question I want to know is why hasn't the prosecutor Fitzgerald, why does it seem in this case the ever thorough Fitzgerald is not pursuing the Obama-Rambo connection in this?
Well, I have a theory, and, you know, I'm a practicing attorney here in Illinois, so I'm a little afraid to say this, but usually a U.S. attorney is appointed by a new president. It's interesting that while this case was going down,
Wow.
President Obama was elected. So now Fitzgerald, he's still in there. What information does he have, and why is he protecting these people?
It's a fascinating observation, guys. Really appreciate it. We will follow it. The media is ignoring it, but this seems to be a little cloud beginning to hover around Rombo and the president himself. And I think it's time for some people in the media to start asking the president, what did he know? Did he have conversations, as David Axelrod suggested? What did he know about Blago's request for a position in the cabinet in exchange for the Senate seat? I think these are fair questions. What did he know? When did he know it? Guys, good to see you.
I agree.